Get ready for the news that is shaking the entire business world. Billionaire entrepreneur Mark Cuban just dropped a massive warning about the future of your company. He is telling CEOs whose leaders fail to grasp artificial intelligence might not survive as AI rapidly reshapes hiring, productivity, and competition across every single industry. Cuban is laying out specific questions for leaders about whether they are learning AI skills and if they are spending enough time on it, and he issued a stark ultimatum. If the CEO has no clue, start to think about another job.
Tired of dropping your phone or struggling to hold it with one hand? The PopSocket's Pop Grip gives you a secure grip, works as a phone stand, and even lets you swap the top for a fresh new look. Simple, useful, and perfect for everyday phone use. Click the link in the comments to grab yours on Amazon.
Next up, we dive into the deep end of the AI disruption conversation with Mark Cuban. He didn't just hint at the danger. He laid out a clear path for survival, arguing that AI is not a silver bullet, but a tool that demands a fundamental shift in leadership thinking. Cuban stressed that CEOs cannot just delegate AI strategy because if they don't understand it, the company faces serious challenges over the next few years. We explore the crucial distinction between using AI to cut costs and using it to truly accelerate growth and decision-making. Now we switch gears completely and look at a major philanthropic move that connects the world of business and sports. We are talking about Indiana alumnus Mark Cuban and his significant role in securing a star quarterback. Cuban helped fund the deal for Fernando Mendoza, the billionaire and former majority owner of the Dallas Mavericks, ensuring the Hoosiers could land their top talent for the college football playoff. And to wrap up this explosive update, we look at the details behind that pivotal moment. We go back to the conversation between Mark Cuban, Indiana Athletic Director Scott Dawson, and University President Pam Whitten, where Cuban stepped in with the exact funding needed to secure Mendoza. This story shows how strategic investment and understanding the landscape can directly impact championship outcomes and shape the future of both professional sports and business leadership. Don't miss the rest of the story. Stay tuned. Billionaire entrepreneur Mark Cuban has issued a stark warning to corporate leadership, asserting that companies whose CEOs fail to grasp artificial intelligence face a significant risk of failure as the technology rapidly restructures hiring, productivity, and industry competition. In a recent post on X, Cuban challenged organizations to critically assess their preparedness for this AI-driven transformation. Cuban pressed companies with pointed questions regarding their growth trajectory, employee contribution to profits, and the active pursuit of AI skills by their workforce. He emphasized that leadership response is paramount, stating unequivocally that CEOs cannot simply delegate AI strategy. If the CEO has no clue, start to think about another job. Your company is going to be challenged over the next few years, he cautioned. While warning of potential disruption, Cuban framed AI not as an inherent destroyer of jobs, but as a complex tool that accelerates growth and decision-making. He noted that companies successfully integrating AI could gain a competitive edge, whereas those that fail to adapt risk using the technology solely for cost-cutting. This sentiment aligns with broader industry concerns. Cuban likened the AI transition to the early personal computer era, stressing that while access to AI tools is widespread, workers must rapidly upskill to keep pace with automation. The implications for the labor market are being echoed by other experts. Perplexity AI CEO Aravind Srinivas suggests that AI-driven layoffs could catalyze new opportunities, enabling displaced workers to launch new ventures or pivot into more rewarding careers. Furthermore, Moody's Analytics chief economist Mark Zandi has signaled growing concern, warning that the U.S. labor market is becoming fragile, with the impact of AI on employment anticipated to manifest in economic data soon, despite current strong hiring figures. Jamie Dimon has also urged proactive planning, highlighting the need for industry leaders to address the profound reshaping of the workforce brought about by artificial intelligence. Mark Cuban has issued a sharp warning to company leadership regarding the necessity of understanding artificial intelligence, suggesting that a CEO lacking comprehension of AI should seriously reconsider their position. In a recent post on LinkedIn, Cuban stated that if a CEO has no clue about AI, it is time to explore new employment opportunities. Cuban emphasized a critical distinction. AI serves as a tool to enhance smart decision-making, not merely a mechanism for speed or deceleration. He argued that the current division among businesses is incomplete, failing to account for a third category of AI utilization. He identified operators who are succeeding by employing AI to think more rigorously, rather than simply faster or slower. Cuban further elaborated on the leadership challenge. He asserted that a CEO who does not understand AI is a liability. However, a more significant problem arises when a CEO understands AI but treats it only as an output engine instead of a true thinking partner. According to Cuban, fixing the first issue, the lack of understanding, can be achieved through hiring. The second issue, the misapplication of AI, is structural and requires deeper organizational change, suggesting that companies will need a bigger boat to navigate the AI landscape effectively. Indiana alumnus Mark Cuban has been recognized for playing a pivotal role in securing the team's success, specifically by funding the acquisition of quarterback Fernando Mendoza. Cuban donated the necessary funds to finalize the deal, a contribution stemming from discussions between Cuban, Indiana Athletic Director Scott Dawson, and University President Pam Whitten during the team's first-round college football playoff game in December 2024. The transaction arose after Cuban expressed interest in adding Mendoza to the roster. As reported by Front Office Sports, Cuban stated, "We're on a roll. I'll put up the money to get this quarterback." This funding helped Indiana lure Mendoza away from Cal, where he was reportedly earning $1.6 million, resulting in a transfer fee of $2.6 million for Indiana. Fernando Mendoza went on to achieve significant success, winning the Heisman Trophy and being selected with the #1 overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. Cuban's involvement highlights a new philanthropic focus for the billionaire, whose previous efforts had concentrated on academics. Cuban emphasized his hands-off approach to the university's finances, stating, "I just give Scott money, and it's up to him." He explained that he trusts Dawson, a fellow Indiana alum, to determine the best course of action, noting that he has extensive experience in team building. Cuban has existing connections to the coaching staff, including ties to Curt Cignetti and Mendoza's brother and teammate, Alberto. While Cuban has amassed a reported $6 billion in philanthropic assets, his recent sports-related donations mark his first foray into the university's athletic department. Cuban has not disclosed the exact total amount committed to Indiana athletics, but indicated in a January email to Front Office Sports that the program was happier this year than last year. Mark Cuban played a pivotal role in helping the Indiana Hoosiers secure a key player, Fernando Mendoza, for their recent success. Cuban's involvement was highlighted during the Hoosiers' playoff game at Notre Dame in 2024. Sporting official Hoosiers Connect apparel, Cuban attended the game from a suite alongside athletic director Scott Dawson and university president Pamela Whitten. During the event, athletic director Dawson discussed Indiana's recruiting strategy in the transfer portal, specifically targeting a quarterback who could complement Curt Cignetti's offense. Dawson expressed optimism about a promising prospect, stating, "We've got this quarterback that we really like that we think would be great. Just need a little bit more." Cuban's response was decisive. After considering the financial aspect in light of the program's rapid ascent, he announced his commitment. "I'll put up the money to get this quarterback." This intervention directly led to Fernando Mendoza joining the Hoosiers, eventually aligning with his brother, Alberto, whom Cuban had previously met while attending Dallas Mavericks games against the Mendozas' hometown Miami Heat. The story underscores Cuban's influence in shaping Indiana athletics' recent recruiting victories.